and gentlemen, welcome to Dog Entertainment. Today I've got Samit here with me. We're going to be reviewing the Bollywood movie War. So we just went and watched that a couple of days ago, and we're going to give you our thoughts on what we thought about this Hrithik Roshan and Tiger Shroff movie. So we'll start off with our ratings. So Samit, what did you think of War? What did you give the Bollywood movie War? Your rating?
5.5 out of 10.
5.5 out of 10, alright. I'm going to give this movie a 7 out of 10. So I am a Hrithik Roshan fan, and I've got to say 7 out of 10 for this movie for me. Okay, so before we delve into the negatives and stuff, we'll just talk about the storyline a bit first. So the movie is basically about what do they call it? Intelligence agents?
Yeah, I forgot the agency that they made up, but they are intelligence agents, and they're
And Hrithik Roshan is he's an assassin basically, and he goes rogue. So that's the whole point of the story. And Tiger Shroff is his student, who goes out to catch him. Now we don't want to spoil too much, but it is pretty much a Hrithik Roshan versus Tiger movie as well for some part of the movie. So we're going to talk a little bit about the characters and the acting, how the actors portrayed these actors. So we'll start with Hrithik Roshan, which I know you're a big fan of.
Massive, number one fan club. I've signed up to all of them, all the fan clubs and all the groups, and massive Hrithik Roshan.
So tell us what you thought about Hrithik Roshan's acting in this movie.
All right, so
and the character that he played.
Okay, so I've made comments about Hrithik Roshan in a previous video that he's the worst actor in the world. Come at me, comment section, blah blah blah. I was actually joking that time. I was not really serious. I've watched a lot of Hrithik Roshan movies. He's an okay actor. So please don't come after me and call me dog and a real dog in the comment section.
That's a real dog comment right there.
That's a real dog comment. Having said all that, I thought his acting was very robotic. But I think that was a consequence of the director, I think, as well. Just a lot of the performance, a lot of characters were very one-dimensional, robotic sort of characters. So it'd be no surprise that Hrithik's character and acting is very one-dimensional and robotic, to me.
Yeah, that's his opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion.
I totally disagree. I think Hrithik was the best actor in this movie. I am a fan of Hrithik, but I got to say, if I look at it as at an unbiased perspective, I thought he really portrayed the character really well. The character is very, like, he's a leader basically, and he is quite arrogant in some scenes, and he really is all about the mission and getting the mission complete. There are a few parts where I feel like he did things a bit out of character, but most of the time, 90% of the time, he was in character, and I thought he played it really well. It's a little bit of a different role for Hrithik. I don't think he's done this sort of character before.
No, well, that's another thing. I thought he was a little bit miscast. So they've got him playing like a grizzled vet who's just sort of not giving the young guy a chance based on some story elements I don't want to disclose or spoil. But he's sort of playing that, but it doesn't mesh with Hrithik the actor. I think maybe they need to go for someone a little bit older, but it just felt a bit off. And there's like one sequence where he's basically telling off Tiger Shroff, and then he fires him, and then he doesn't, and then the next scene, it's them two dancing together, which didn't make any sense to me. I didn't understand that. So.
Well, he's accepted him.
That was very sudden. Like the whole movie, he's berating him, and then once he accepts him, and then they're just dancing together and singing together. Like it just. Well, it's very jarring. Like, I don't know. It just took me out of the movie.
Well, that's just. I mean, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but there's a reason for that as well.
Yeah.
But apart from that, everything else I thought they portrayed pretty well. Tiger Shroff was okay as well. A lot of the time, he was.
I thought he did okay.
Yeah, his expressions were a bit blank or a bit.
Again, it's the director. I think the robotic sort of. he's not getting the performances that he can out of the actors.
Yeah.
Which is my gripe.
There is a bit of a change in the character. I won't say too much. There is a bit of a change in Tiger Shroff's character at some point, and he does express a little bit differently, which is good. This is really good. I think that he did
funny enough,
variants.
I thought Tiger Shroff's character was a bit more thought out than the other characters, in the sense he has a backstory and all sort of stuff. Hrithik's is very one-dimensional. There isn't really much to him.
I think there was a lot to Hrithik. I disagree with that. I think that it did show. The first half of the movie is a bit confusing. I got to say, it's a lot of action, but they do leave a lot of questions, and that's why Hrithik's character, it does get a bit confusing sometimes. But we'll talk about that a bit as well. The first half of the movie, it was a bit. There was a lot of action scenes in the first half and a lot of developing of the characters, but there's a lot of questions that some of the scenes, like some scenes are just cut, and then you think, well, why did they just cut that scene and move on to the next scene? They don't really give you an answer. Or
they explain in the second half, though.
Yeah, and there's a chase scene, and then you don't see the end part of it, what happens with one of the characters, but you don't really know what happens there. But in the second half of the movie, the third quarter of the movie, they basically explain everything, and they pretty much answer all of the questions.
Yeah, true.
So that does make up for it. You think the second half might be a bit slow? Starts off a little bit slow, but it does progress towards.
That's another thing. I thought the second half was better than the first half.
Yeah, definitely. So the second half, because the first half it just sort of happens, and you're just like, why is that happening?
Yeah, there's no context around it.
But, but then they explain the backstory and everything so that it does make up for it in the end. Now the action scenes. Let's talk about the action sequences in this movie.
Yeah, I thought it was actually very well done. You were saying that they got someone from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I think they did get a. So usually they do Bollywood action, stuntmen and action coordinators and action directors, but they've got someone from overseas for this one. So I think that was it did show in some of the action scenes. I've got to say the action scenes were really good.
Yeah, so I thought the action scenes looked very good. In terms of some of the psychology behind the action, I thought sometimes they were a bit dumb in what they were doing. There was some scenes where they were just like, well, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense, in terms of some of the things they do. But, I thought it looked very good. And that was another thing I want to talk about, the positive ways, is the look of the film is actually very good. Budget-wise, they've really gone all out with this.
Yeah.
And it looks like a Hollywood action movie in that sense. They've got the right sort of the right people behind everything, and I think one of the good things about this is also the fact that the VFX was done in house in India
in Yash Raj films.
And that's what I like to see. A lot of the times we always see Indian movies outsourcing their VFX to other companies, but I like seeing the talent in house in India being used for that.
Yeah. And also, so the action I thought was really good. I thought, sometimes Indian movies, like sometimes Bollywood movies, they do go a bit over the top. Some Bollywood movies in the action, but this one I think it kept it fairly level. There was some stunts that just that just blows your mind. Like really, that's not even possible. It's just like it's a movie shot. It's not possible to.
One scene I wanted to actually say that was pretty impressive was one of the first scenes we see Tiger Shroff. Where it's this one take sort of scene where it follows Tiger. No music, no nothing playing. It's just pure action, him fighting and shooting and all this sort of stuff. I thought that was really well filmed. Whoever did that.
That was really good.
It didn't look like it was the director of the movie. It looked like it was someone else that did that scene specifically. But that was really good.
Yeah, and the action continues all the way throughout the movie. It's evenly spread out. It is an action movie. It's called War, the movie. So it is quite an action-packed movie. We'll talk a little bit about the screenplay and the story. Now, the story was pretty straightforward.
Yeah. There's some good twists. I gotta say, the story outline is actually very good. I like that where the story beats where they go in terms of the characters. But as the characters are sort of one dimension, not fleshed out enough. So it's very robotic, but the story outline is good, and I thought the screenplay needed a lot of work. The dialogue was very not, I guess, not to the standard that we should hold the Bollywood movies these days. After seeing what can be done on Netflix with Bollywood, I'm holding Bollywood to a higher standard now. I've seen Sacred Games, I've seen Musical, I've seen a lot of the Bollywood stuff that's on Netflix and streaming services. So I'm holding writing now to a higher standard.
But would you consider that Nollywood?
No.
Indian Netflix Nollywood?
No, I wouldn't. No, this is the new Bollywood. This is the Bollywood I've been waiting for a long time. The one that puts the screenplay and screenwriting ahead as the main thing. And unfortunately, this movie didn't do that. But I think we're we're not that far off from big budget movies with great screenwriting.
The thing with Bollywood, you do expect a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah.
I think there was just enough twists and turns in this movie to keep you interested to the end of the movie.
Yeah, the story beats are great. I like the twist, I like the turns, but yeah, it's just the other stuff let it down a bit.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, I thought it was a good movie. It's done pretty well so far in the 4-day weekend so far in the box office.
It's really doing good numbers. Actually, I think it's up to 300 crore. Or is it?
Well, I think actually not 300. I think it's with because this is released actually in Hindi, Tamil, Telugu. A lot of languages in the Hindi
Tamil version.
Yeah, the Hindi business alone, it's done 120 crore already.
Yeah, so that's good numbers.
So that's just the Hindi business. So that's 120 million rupees.
Yeah,
that's really good. And I think it's just the first weekend. It's gonna people want to watch this movie because there's so much hype around Hrithik Roshan versus Tiger Shroff.
It looks good. I think it looks good. It actually does look good, but there's things that let it down for me. But,
before we finish, I just want to talk about the songs as well because there's only a couple of songs in this movie.
It was about 2, I think.
I think there was 2 songs. Well, the first one we were talking about a little bit earlier, how
it's a bit jarring.
They just
starts out of nowhere.
He's trying to get his approval, then he accepts him, and all of a sudden there's a dance routine. Now that song, JJ Shiv Shankar, I think that they just put that in there. Just because of the Hrithik Roshan, Tiger Shroff dance they wanted to see.
They wanted to see a dance song between them.
Because it totally doesn't fit the movie.
It doesn't fit the characters.
It doesn't fit the characters. It doesn't progress the story. It's just there all of a sudden. And you're just thinking, what was the point of that? Yeah. But it's a good song. It's a very colourful and very lively song. Yeah. And of course, Tiger and Hrithik, they're brilliant dancers. Yeah. So they dance really well. But it didn't really fit in the storyline.
It didn't fit.
So that was a bit strange. But the second song, Ghungaru,
that fit a bit better.
That fit a little bit more with the story about where they were going with that.
Was it Vani Kapoor?
Vani Kapoor was there.
It didn't really have much of a role.
It was more like a glorified cameo.
Yeah, it was about 5-10 minutes of screen time. So
so there's nothing really much to say about that. There was other actors in this. Ashutosh Rana, it was okay.
I was trying to figure out who that was for a long time, and I was like, and then at the end I was like, that's Ashutosh Rana. I haven't seen him for ages. Yeah. So I wonder what he's been doing for a while. So,
And there's other few support actors who I haven't actually seen before, but they like some of the villains. I thought they were okay. The villains were okay as well. Yeah. So overall, I thought it was a good movie. I think it's worth a watch, definitely, if you're a Bollywood fan.
For me, I don't think it's the worst Bollywood movie I've ever seen. That is definitely going to Thugs of Hindustan.
Yes. Which Amir Khan apologized for.
He did apologize. Let's get that right. Amir Khan is one of my favourite actors.
And he apologized
for that, so he's sorry.
Yeah, this is about...
But it was a bad movie, I must say. Thugs of Hindustan. Yeah.
So, definitely get out there and watch it if you can. It's a very enjoyable movie. All you Hrithik Roshan fans and Tiger fans, let us know in the comments below what you thought of the movie. If you've already seen it, hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe and hit the little bell notification as well if you haven't already. And we shall see you in the next review. Peace.